Does Hashimoto's affect your heart? It's a great question. Thanks for joining me. My name is Sarah Peternell. I'm the owner of Family Nutrition Services in Denver, Colorado, and I'm the creator of the 30-day online program called Nourished and Renewed with Hashimoto's. Listen, if you've been following me for a while, you probably know that I have had quite the health history. Despite all of my very best efforts to have a very healthy lifestyle, to practice what I preach as far as nutrition goes, to take my supplements, to work on mindfulness and stress relief, and to exercise daily, I have been basically doomed with a bunch of different health conditions that I have been able to successfully manage through diet and lifestyle. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's around the year 2000. I was diagnosed with celiac disease shortly thereafter. And in 2018, for those of you who've been following along on my journey, it was discovered that I had a 3 centimeter hole in my heart that caused me to have several TIA or mini strokes. And I was on a crazy adventure to learn what was wrong with me when a lot of people wouldn't listen to me or take me seriously. I was very thankful that I followed up with my doctor's advice to be persistent with a cardiologist and get some pictures taken. An echocardiogram was what helped to discover the hole in my heart. Further testing and ultimately closure of the hole in my heart reduced all of those symptoms that I was experiencing prior to that. Now, I'm not saying this was an easy journey, right? It's hard for someone like me to say, gosh, I eat really well, I do all these things. What is the relationship, by any chance, between what happened with my heart and having Hashimoto's? I've spent a lot of time doing research and learning about the ways in which having hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's can actually impact the health of your heart. So today I'm going to share with you the top things that I've learned about how you can take the best care of your heart and your cardiovascular system so that hopefully your outcome will always continue to be happy and healthy, and you won't have to think about this really important organ in your body. I know I never thought of mine before until I had surgery to close the hole in my heart. So thanks for joining me today. Let's get started. The first thing is that amazingly, the active form of T3, you've heard me talk about this one a lot, right? T3 thyroid hormone, the active thyroid hormone, is responsible for some major effects on the heart. The first one is that it helps to stabilize and change, if needed, the rate and rhythm that your heart pumps blood. That's pretty amazing. Your thyroid hormone controls the rate and rhythm of the pump in your body. Pretty amazing. And also, T3 helps with the production of new healthy heart cells if there's any damage to your heart, and just in the maintenance and repair and ongoing structural health and function of your heart. T3 makes these heart cells available, helps them to grow, helps them to proliferate, and helps them to keep the heart healthy. So T3 is really, really invaluable, and you might say that T3 is at the heart of the matter. Imbalanced T3 levels can cause a lot of issues. So obviously, if your T3 levels are not being monitored, you may be experiencing some side effects. This is one of the main reasons why I tell my clients to please always get a free T3 blood draw from your physician. This is important. A lot of times your doctor will just check the TSH, or maybe they check a total T4. What about the free and active hormone that's circulating through your blood? We need to know what the free T3 levels are so we can see if this is having any type of an impact on the way that you're feeling or any symptoms that you might be experiencing. If the levels of T3 in your body stay imbalanced for too long, one of the things that can start to happen is that a person with Hashimoto's can start to develop high blood pressure as well as elevated LDL cholesterol. So high blood pressure. We know that there are a lot of cardio risk factors associated with having an abnormal blood pressure. And also, when it comes to elevated LDL, we know that there are risk factors because we call this the bad LDL or the bad cholesterol. So, cholesterol can build up in the walls of the blood vessels over time, which can lead to atherosclerosis, which is basically like hardening of the arteries. And this can slow down blood flow to the heart. So, the heart muscle can become weak if the blood pressure is not stabilized, if free T3 is imbalanced for too long, and if the LDL goes too high, leading to the atherosclerosis or hardening of those arteries. When there's not enough blood, because it's slowing down, to carry the most important life-giving component of all to the heart and to the body, which is oxygen, there can become a greater risk for a heart attack. Having the right amount of T3 in your system helps to reduce this. Also, it's important to know that imbalanced T3 levels can also cause issues with blood clotting and may lead to something called thrombosis. Now, there are other genetic factors that can also lead to blood clotting issues. One of them is MTHFR. So if you haven't watched my other videos about the genetic links with Hashimoto's, you may want to go back and check those out. Or you can read all about the genetic connections to Hashimoto's on my website at sarahpeternell.com. So into the details of why, if you have a heart condition and you are diagnosed with Hashimoto's, or vice versa, if you have Hashimoto's and you suddenly are having heart symptoms, these are important connections that you need to make and speak directly to your doctor about. You want to make sure that your doctor is very precise in prescribing the right kind of thyroid hormone replacement therapy based on several factors. How old are you? What is the situation with your heart? Do you have any other risk factors? And you'll probably need to start with medication at a safe and low dose, because too much T3 can also cause symptoms like racing heart, rapid heartbeat, tachycardia, and other symptoms as well. Over time, your doctor should work with you to slowly increase your medication until you're at the right level. And so again, using that free T3 test is really invaluable. And so as I said a few moments ago, taking thyroid medication will help lower the risk of certain heart complications. It's just that we have to, again, be focused on the right type of replacement medication for you. It is not a one-size-fits-all answer. And also, you need to make sure that if you're taking something like Synthroid or the generic levothyroxine, that your body is doing the best job of converting it into the active form of T3. And so you need to have certain types of cofactor nutrients in your body. Selenium, and zinc, and B vitamins, magnesium, all of these nutritional elements are really important and necessary in order for your body to take that inactive T4 medication and make it work in your body. So if you know that you have both of these issues, kind of like me, right? A heart condition plus Hashimoto's, you need to do some things to help take extra good care of your heart. The first thing is, please, please, please practice good stress management. Please recognize that the effects that stress has on your heart are so far-reaching, and the damage that we do to our bodies, our heart, cardiovascular system, even our nervous system, is long-lasting. We've got to get our stress under control, because stress is at the root cause of so many of the illnesses that plague us in this modern world that we live in, faced by so many challenges. Also, it's important to really have a great open communication relationship with your doctor in regards to the medication, as I've been talking about. And of course, because I'm board certified in holistic nutrition, I also advise that you have a holistic nutrition therapist who can work with you on the optimal diet to help support you, both your thyroid and your heart. If you've been following me, you know that I believe that a gluten-free diet for Hashimoto's is the first place to start. But there are other really important things that you need to know about the right type of diet to help support healthy LDL levels and also to help support the right blood pressure in your body. And it's not just about giving up salt. I can tell you there's a lot more that goes into it than that. Also, you want to make sure that you're getting plenty of activity and exercise. Being sedentary because you may be concerned about the stress or the strain on your heart is not the right approach. After my heart surgery, I was encouraged right away by my cardiologist to get back to exercise at the level that I had been doing before, which was pretty, intensive. I love to exercise. And I had found that in the year that I was sick, that I was a little bit, wary of doing that type of exercise because I didn't want to burst my heart. That was sort of my fear that could happen. But the reality was, he said, you know what, get right back to it. We bought a Peloton and I've never looked back. I know that my heart is very healthy today thanks to being able to be fit and to be active every single day. Exercise is so important to strengthening that heart muscle. Now, try to avoid the inflammatory oils and inflammatory foods that can cause damage, not just to your heart, but to your whole body. Those foods are the processed foods, the processed oils, processed flours, and the processed sugars that are in a lot of our American food supply. If you think about when you walk into the grocery store and all of those middle aisles, as you walk down all of the things that come in a box, a package, a piece of plastic, if you look at the ingredients and there are things that you cannot pronounce, if sugar or flour or oil is in the top of the list of ingredients, you want to try to stay away from those as much as possible. Your body thrives on and deserves what we call Mother Nature's healthiest way of eating, which is a whole foods eating plan. Now, it doesn't mean you're shopping in Whole Foods, although you can. It just means that you're eating foods that are as close to the way that Mother Nature intended. That you are focused on fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, whole gluten-free grains, legumes, and also grass-fed meats, which can be heart healthy because they're a good source of omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3s have been shown to help support healthy cholesterol levels. Also, wild-caught fatty fishes, poultry, and occasionally having some naturally sweetened treats and foods, such as like maybe homemade brownies sweetened with pure maple syrup, or maybe making your own chocolate dipped strawberries, organic strawberries, of course. So working with somebody who's qualified to help you with that personalized diet is the way to go. But taking care of your heart really does rely on having the knowledge and the understanding that it's directly related to your thyroid. I'll be back with more tips and information if you have Hashimoto's. And this series about heart health is not over yet. I was just excited to introduce it to you today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have in-depth questions about Hashimoto's, especially how it might be affecting your brain, your other hormones, your weight, or other food intolerances in addition to gluten, please check out Nourished and Renewed with Hashimoto's. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Remember to like, subscribe, and share these videos if you know someone who would benefit. Take care.